people. Well guys, it's a dangerous place we're in here. So today I want to show you Budapest from a side you have not seen before. From the famous areas to visit to, I gotta say, some of Europe's, if not the world's best places to stay. Join me on 3 days in Budapest.
Tarot card above the churchyard round before my life got hard, hand in skylight whirling like some vortex of delight. A sign in the sky.
On the roofs of Budapest, guys. I have to tell you, a city that always intrigued me. I don't know what it is. I've never had, let's say, big romantic dreams about coming to Hungary, going to Budapest. But then one day there was this song, and it might sound a little bit cringy, you know, my mind in Budapest, my... And it kind of got in my head a couple of years ago. I was planning a trip earlier this year, didn't fully work out. First day in Budapest, haven't seen anything yet. We're on the roof right now of a very, very special place, the Mystery Hotel. I'm gonna show you around later here. But for now, getting a little bit an impression. We're seeing mountains, we're seeing some humongous buildings, and that is what Budapest always kind of looked for me like, that they have these massive buildings, this massive river flowing through it, and yeah, gonna check it out a little bit. Generally, I'm quite interesting, also just in terms of the vibe that I get from the country there. They seem a bit different, and I'm very excited over a couple of days to get a bit of an impression, a bit of a feeling, see how I like it generally. I feel like this place might be special, or at least I hope it is. So yeah, right now the plan is going to be just get a bit of a first impression. We're going to go down to the Parliament building. If you spend any time on Instagram, you're seeing all these like amazing photos, videos, and this is going to be it. What is it? 3-4 full days in Budapest. Let's go. Well, I would say let's get a bit of a first impression of Budapest. We're walking out of the Mystery Hotel in itself. I would say definitely stick around, because maybe you know the movie Hotel Budapest. That might be the real deal. I haven't even seen the movie yet, so walking towards the Parliament building. So the location here is pretty good. We're right centrally at the train station. I think like a 15-minute walk. I'm excited, guys. All I know is some pictures from the internet. Just being in the city, I like that it feels a little bit more raw, a little bit different than the rest of Europe, because I don't like the feeling that you go to some European countries and it just feels way too similar to everything else. So this is kind of like my hope for Budapest, and so far, yeah, feeling it. Next stop, one of the most famous buildings in the world, at least visually. Let's check it out. First impressions. Coming out to the bridge behind us is the Parliament building, and I have to tell you, that was just the first thing that I thought. Many European cities have, like, let's say, nice buildings, nice churches, but this looks massive, powerful. But also, it seems like there's a bit of a German spirit going on. Crazy people. Wow. Well, guys, it's a dangerous place we're in here. Guys, made it down to the water here. So basically there's stairs all behind the bridge that we walk, and what I just realized is the bridge looks absolutely amazing. The view from it, obviously you have seen it, but yeah, being down here is kind of cool. You're right at the other side of the Parliament. The visuals that I've just got, probably some of my favorite visuals of all time. Budapest is really delivering in that, let's say, certain aesthetic sense. Like, we're really far from that building, but it just slaps you right in your face. And there's very few cities, for me personally, that you can walk around and you're really in awe, and Budapest is one of those. And yeah, so basically as for now the plan is to go to the bridge back there. There's some guys fishing down here. Overall not too many people. On top everybody's taking photos. For some reason nobody really comes down, and you got a catch. What a place to go fishing. And also actually you can take a boat ride on one of these boats and probably get an even better view. And actually what I have just heard, or let's say that a little bit of a research, is that the river, the Danube River, is one of probably like second largest or something in Europe. It's flowing through a bunch of different countries. Saw it in Slovakia, goes through Romania, it's pretty much approaching Ukraine. And yeah, let's go to another bridge. Word from today's video sponsor, Level 8. If you have been watching the channel, you probably have seen them here before, but most recently I've switched over to their Carry-On Pro suitcase, and I have to tell you, it looks super premium. It has this little sleeve for your laptop, so if you're in the airport, if you're traveling a lot, quick access to have your laptop out and ready. Really nice feature. On the other hand, it's really light. My favorite piece overall used to be their aluminum suitcase, and while I would say in terms of the look, in terms of the elegance and just the build quality, it's probably the best suitcase that I've ever seen. Yet at the same time, just to switch things up, have a little bit more convenience with the slightly lighter option with the laptop case. They have the checked luggage, the carry-on. All of them are super high quality, look very elegant, and I have to tell you, if you compare them to other high quality, high range suitcases, they're fairly affordable as well. As of right now, with my code Danny15, if you want to buy a suitcase, if you're planning a trip anytime soon, you can get 15% off on any of their pieces. They're doing worldwide shipping, so no matter where you are, you can get one. It's free in the United States and Europe. The smoothest rolling suitcases in the game. I will leave the link first things in the description for Level 8. And yeah, well, let's roll back into today's adventure. No doubt about it, this is one of the nicest bridges I've ever walked on. So on the one side, you know, it gives off a little bit kind of like London vibes going through one of the bridges, maybe the Tower Bridge, but in its very own unique way. Like seriously, there's a lot of nice cities that have like isolated places. Like, you know, I love Barcelona, I love Rome, and probably my favorite cities to be fair, in Europe, but rarely you find a city in Europe where you're kind of like in the middle of the water and it just feels so dimensional. Like such huge buildings. The Parliament building, you thought it would be the only one, but everywhere you look around, everywhere by the water is just one, let's say, eye catcher. So yeah, walking by the other bridge to get back into the city right now. There's also a castle on the hill. I think today's gonna be a long video, and I'm much more excited about Budapest than I already knew I am. Guys, seriously. And so guys, it is the next morning right now, and I would say Budapest is famous for a couple of things. One of them is the movie Hotel Budapest, and generally when you look at different hotels in the city, just on Booking you go, you see there's a lot of interesting concepts, but this one might be one of the most special hotels I've ever stayed, probably. So it's called the Mystery Hotel Budapest. We are right in front of it. So let's discover a bit what this mystery is about. So coming in, this is the lobby. Big wooden doors we're passing by here. Coming into the lobby room, and we're greeted right away with these stairs. So we have two options right now. Either we take the elevator or we go up there. So let's talk about the Mystery Hotel. First of all, on the outside, it looks like a nice old historical building, super well maintained, but it's much more than that. When you walk in, you actually realize it's a little bit of a palace. The middle of the hotel looks like that. In the bottom is the spa area, which I would say makes this place very, very special. I'll show you around there in a second. But walking up the stairs up to the 4th floor where I am staying, again, in the theme of the My House in Budapest song, this has been a little bit home in Budapest. So basically, all over the hotel, they have the paintings. This is a TV, so kind of like a live installation in the hallways everywhere. Famous paintings, obviously prints, but looks super, super nice. And on the one side, it feels kind of like very cozy, but also a little bit like with the playing TVs, with the moving pictures. Everything is a little bit, let's say, like they don't go overboard with the mystery concept. Just like a couple of little side notes. So, restaurant open to the public. The breakfast there in the morning, like the place is called The Hall. And this is also how it looks like in terms of breakfast places and hotels, probably the most interesting one yet. So people go to the restaurant. I would say, why not check this one out? The Da Vinci Suite. Whoop, it's working. So guys, in terms of boutique hotels, probably one of my all-time favorite places, the Mystery Hotel. So at first they have like different kind of rooms, like more basic types. Then they have a studio room. This is the Da Vinci Suite, and I have to tell you, absolutely amazing. Like, it's pretty large. You can definitely host a good amount of people. So like a nice little, or actually pretty large seating area. You have a table over there, but at the same time a very, very cozy bedroom with the VIP Mona Lisa, very nice bathtub, let's say like that. The structure of the hotel is very unique. The fact that in the middle they have this open concept where you see all the hallways, you have the natural daylight coming from above, and at the bottom I think they made a really, really good move to put this spa there. So you have a very nice whirlpool, you have a gym, you have a sauna, and I would say let's head there and let's check it out. The spa experience, this is exactly where we are right now, in the whirlpool. You're probably hearing a bit of an echo, but yeah, super, super unique and very aesthetic kind of corner. So not the biggest pool, but just absolutely beautiful, very enjoyable. So like a nice whirlpool. Ooh, it's getting cold right away, but let me give you a quick tour. So basically this is their spa area, and as I showed you before, this is kind of yeah, like also like a bit of a hangout area. Just try to not to fall. Got the sofas, can lay down. At a certain time of the day the sun hits directly down here as well, and yeah, got these two little nice chairs. And what I have just discovered myself actually, it's like, okay, there's the sauna, there's the whirlpool, over there's the gym. And I have just found that the sauna is here. Ooh, and it's on. All right, guys, see you in a bit. Oh yeah. Seriously. Especially after it's kind of cold outside. So guys, the whole restaurant, and the hall it is, just look right behind me. So this is also their breakfast place, which I think is quite nice. You have like, let's say, super fancy restaurant, but it's also the breakfast place. And yeah, I think they have lunch and dinner here as well. But the coolest thing is kind of like this platform in the back. So most people sit there, and you know, the brave ones make their way up here. Seriously, what a place. Perfect, peaceful view. Almost. It's a busy place. Well guys, we're continuing a little bit the Budapest exploration. And let me tell it to you like that. We are at one of the most famous, most beautiful churches, most amazing photo spots, and we have it almost to ourselves. I mean, almost, like a good amount of people. So basically, if you have ever seen Budapest, this is what you're seeing. These arches, in the back we have the Parliament building. And the thing is, as much as I know different European cities and let's say their photo opportunities, this is next level. Everybody is fighting to get that famous arches shot. I guess it's worth it, but you know, you can imagine the vibe up here. But the church itself, it's called the Fisherman's Bastion. Definitely worth checking out, perhaps earlier in the morning. What is today? Tuesday, Wednesday, so feels like weekend holiday, but still really nice, considering it's obviously free of charge to come up here. Oh wow, look at that, guys, beautiful. And you pretty much from up here, you see the whole city, and also have discovered a little bit of public transportation around here. So before European cities, I'm always up for a walk, but here for like, what is it, $1 or something, you get a ticket, can ride all throughout the city, one way. And that's what we did from basically Anantara Palace to here, 4 stations. You walk 50 minutes up, and the view you get, oh yeah.
Yeah, I can read the signs. You need to get away. It's time we make.
So walking right now through the city center, and I have to tell you, this is what for me is pretty special about Budapest is every street you look into, you're getting like super nice perspective, far into it, kind of like the 2 buildings between it. This is right now we're walking by the famous opera theater, and overall, let's say like that, one of the most aesthetic cities in the world, for sure, hands down. I think underrated in the sense everybody wants to go to, like, you know, Central Europe. Personally, Budapest for me much higher than any like European city, and yeah. I would say let's continue this Budapest chapter on a very strong note. I didn't expect that, you know, every time I come to a place, I look for nice places, nice buildings in the city, both new and old architecture. And when I saw the New York Palace, I was like, wow. And I have to tell you one thing, it's even much more impressive than I thought. So this building behind us was built during the same time as like all the other like very impressive New York structures in Manhattan. So basically, it was built by some like American insurance company, I believe in. I just read the picture inside. 1893 or something like that. Don't quote me on that, but over 100 years ago. And basically, it's part of the Anantara Hotel. We're gonna check it out today. Didn't turn off, it's just a screen. It's fine, cut. And it's also home to one of the most famous cafes in the world, the New York Cafe. Usually I'm not too big, not too nerdy on cafes, but when I read all the signs inside, again, the hotel has a history of not the hotel, the cafe, history of 100 years during World Wars. Crazy, there's a monument in itself. Let me take it inside. Yeah, it's red, so. Let's go. New York style. So this is pretty much the New York Cafe. Yesterday there was a line going outside of it, but let's go the other end. Let's go. The most beautiful cafe in the world, it says. These things here, super New York. Absolute palace. So I think this building is called the New York Palace. And when I first heard it, I was like, you know, there's often in many cities kind of like New York style, New York this, whatever. I mean, when I first saw the building, I'm like, yeah, very impressive. But after reading the history up on it, basically there's pictures all over from how it used to be in the 1920s, 50s in the hallways. Absolutely beautiful structure. So inside here, it used to be kind of like a fountain, so just like an old building. Now they built a beautiful lobby of the Anantara. And yeah, New York Cafe right next to it. You still see like a term, like the hotel is pretty much completely renewed. It's pretty new, you couldn't tell. And when you walk into the cafe, you see this place has been around for over 100 years, and super excited. So we're gonna hit the city once again, I think, towards the later part of this video, but I didn't expect how, let's say, also historically interesting this place would be. So definitely excited to also show you the room here in a second. Seriously, good world system. Check out the cafe, come. You just pass me by.
What side?
On the left. Here, all the paintings. Ooh, exciting! Oh, but way too excited. Let's do this. The balcony is this is crazy. Seriously. Whew. This is crazy. And this is the craziest part about it, I think. Oh yes. Wow. Hands down, in terms of like hotels in the city, I think it will be very hard to beat this. This is crazy.
I once had a dream before, standing on the chessboard floor, marble pillars of this castle, clopping hooves approaching.
Good morning. So yesterday I mentioned to you the New York cafe, and obviously you would think like, hey, it's very like, let's say, exclusive, it's special, you have to stand in line to kind of get in there. But at the Anantara hotel, they're actually having the breakfast as part of the hotel experience. So basically this is the all-day cafe. This is where the breakfast is happening at the end of the day. And I have to tell you, the choice is amazing. Just had a bit of a maybe even too large breakfast. We'll have to lay down for a little bit, but yeah, I would say just the breakfast in itself. There's live music in the corner playing all the time. And also, last night, I think I got a couple of shots. They have an amazing restaurant, the White Salon, great meat, and just generally it's a little bit behind the New York cafe, so you still get the live music. The interior is a little bit more bright, a little bit more newer, whereas the New York cafe is like very, very old school. They really maintain it how it used to be 100 years ago, pretty much. Yeah. Things are falling. Well, guys, so this has been 3 full days in Budapest. I have to tell you, I thought I would like it, but it really exceeded expectation. Very rarely personally I come to a European city. It really blows me away. Generally, if you have been following the channel, you probably know a bit more, let's say, preferable of more up-and-coming countries, maybe a bit more Asia, a bit more Eastern Europe, maybe the Balkans, just places where I feel like a certain flavor is still more. But Budapest was really an amazing mix of completely modern, super, like, let's say, just the downtown, the city center, how everything clean is, how neat it is, how the vibe is also really good. Good amount of tourism, not too much, unless like we talk about this one photo spot we've been to. But yeah, guys, Budapest, I definitely will be back. There's no doubt about it. There's a few places where I stayed at without a shadow of a doubt. The 2 places we stayed, as always, if you're by any chance new here on the channel, I focus on the one side, let's say, documenting this life, the idea of building a life of freedom around the world. So basically what I'm doing is for the past 6 years, I've been traveling, or more so even living around the world full time, usually spending a couple of weeks or months in each country. But when it comes to like some like destinations that I would rather just travel to, that's when it's only a couple of videos. And yeah, on the other hand, also always with a focus on different hotel experiences. And I think this is for me the first time staying in a place like that in Europe with so much history, and I think it's actually one of the most historical hotels. The cafe here is absolutely out of this world. I really did not expect it. I expected the building when I just first was researching it, but the hotel, the cafe, absolutely blew me away. So the Mystery Hotel we stayed at first, one of the most unique hotel concepts in the world, especially their spa is really something else. It's already a couple of days ago now, so I'm just like looking at those memories. It feels a little bit like a month in Budapest or something. And yeah, this has been it. If you're new here, well, whatever, subscribe, But generally, if you're curious where I am right now or want to see a bit more of what I'm up to, Instagram is the best place to connect with me. That's where I'm the most active. And yeah, on that note, you too, gotta rules.
My name, breathe my name. It has been said, it's just a phase, like a rare smile on my face. I know what I could be, and I do. Struggle with destiny, and I get through. No wonder I feel blue. before standing on the chessboard floor. Marble pillars, Albus castle, clopping hooves approaching. Tarot card above the churchyard round before my life got hard. Hand in skylight whirling like some vortex of delight. A sign in the sky without